Hello, everyone. This is Chinese drama, As Beautiful as You. Early in the morning, Xingchen faced a crisis. A video of Tang Song talking to a man about compensation in a parking lot was posted online, causing a huge uproar. Chang He is truly despicable. Not only did he bribe the man to cause trouble, but he also hired paparazzi to secretly film the video. This incident damaged Xingchen's reputation in recent days and affected Dongyang Medical's stock prices, which kept falling. Xingchen went to the patient's home and persuaded her to undergo treatment again. However, due to fear of the man's violence, the patient didn't immediately agree. Upon hearing the man's voice returning, the patient hurriedly asked Xingchen to leave. Meanwhile, Chang He found Han Ting and suggested that he immediately cut off the relationship between Dongyang Medical and Xingchen. Unexpectedly, Han Ting told her that he and Xingchen were already together, and he would transfer all of Guanghua shares to Chang He. Chang He was stunned. She didn't expect Han Ting to be so ruthless, cutting off all ties with her for Xingchen. Xingchen went to the patient's home again, and before entering, she overheard their conversation. The patient urged the man to stop making mistakes. Upon hearing this, Xingchen quickly took out her phone and started recording the video. When she saw the man push the patient, she rushed in and threatened to call the police. The man, very angry, tried to grab the phone. Xingchen quickly ran downstairs. Fortunately, Han Ting had also obtained evidence and arrived in time. Xingchen threw herself into Han Ting's arms, and the man was arrested. The truth was revealed. Love, what exactly is it? For Han Ting, Chang He went to Germany to study with him. When starting a business, she chose an industry that interested Han Ting, but unfortunately, Han Ting did not care about any of it. Chang He felt terrible after hearing this because Chang He was the woman he loved but couldn't have. He advised Chang He not to be so stubborn anymore. However, Chang He was unwilling to give up and insisted on getting even. Chang He agreed to help her. Han Ting and Xingchen's days together were getting happier. Xingchen moved into Han Ting's home, and the house password was changed to Xingchen's birthday. The entire home became more lively than before, and they enjoyed every moment together. Han Ting received news that Zhu Houyu had broken the contract again. In fact, Chang He had secretly colluded with Zhu Houyu to suppress Han Ting. Han Ting warned Zhu Houyu to know his limits. Unable to get the price he wanted from Han Ting, Zhu Houyu left in a huff. Tang Song reminded Han Ting that this would allow Chang He's company, Tonka, to acquire at a low price. Han Ting then wrote something on the table, which Tang Song quickly understood. Soon, news came from Tang Song. Zhu Houyu was taken away by the police for investigation, and all his company's operations were suspended. It turned out that Tang Song had reported Zhu Houyu for suspected massive bribery. Xingchen saw the news online. Although she agreed with Han Ting's actions, she couldn't help but ask Han Ting if he would do the same if she ever violated Dongyi's interests. Han Ting looked at Xingchen seriously and told her that such a thing would never happen. Han Ting's birthday arrived. Xingchen wanted to give Han Ting an extraordinary birthday celebration. She brought Han Ting, with his eyes closed, to the aquarium. It was there that she planned to celebrate his birthday. Xingchen showed Han Ting a photo of her when she was a child. Han Ting discovered himself as a child in the background of the photo. It was fate. Their connection had started when they were children. They participated in competitions together in university. And now Han Ting had returned to take over the company and met Xingchen again. Fate works in mysterious ways. When Han Ting's parents were still alive, their family went to the aquarium. Han Ting's mother wanted to buy him a seal plush toy as a birthday gift, but it was sold out. At that moment, Xingchen gave up the plush toy she had. This meant that Xingchen had met Han Ting's mother when she was a child. Han Ting was deeply moved and hugged Xingchen tightly. Huang Weiwei, unhappy with her year-end bonus, went to Xingchen to discuss it. Xingchen told her that the year-end bonus was calculated according to company policy. Huang Weiwei then took advantage of a loophole in Su Zhizhou's words to demand shares, and even threatened to resign. Xingchen was shocked by Huang Weiwei's actions and refused her request. In fact, Huang Weiwei was being manipulated by Han Yuan, whose goal was to embarrass the inexperienced Xingchen. She and Huang Weiwei had been colleagues for many years. When they worked at Guanghua, other colleagues ostracized Xingchen, but Huang Weiwei supported her. Now, after resigning, Huang Weiwei sent an email to all Xingchen employees, saying that her present situation would be their future, trying to cause anxiety among the staff. Moreover, Huang Weiwei posted articles online distorting the facts. The more Xingchen read, the angrier she became. After careful consideration, Xingchen immediately held an employee meeting. She planned to turn this crisis into a marketing opportunity. Everyone was very motivated after hearing her plan, and each person used their own talents to promote Xingchen's new products. Xingchen's plan worked indeed. As for Huang Weiwei, no tech company dares to hire her, and Han Yuan doesn't care about her after paying her off. This is simply a case of reaping what one sows. Ji Xing's ex-boyfriend, Xingchen, got married to her good friend, and Ji Xing attended the wedding with Han Ting. Listening to the loving speeches of the bride and groom, she looked at Han Ting sitting next to her and smiled happily. Saying goodbye to the wrong person allows one to meet the right one. Chang He came to Xingchen to find Ji Xing, wanting to participate in Xingchen's Series A financing. Ji Xing indirectly rejected Chang He, stating that every decision at Xingchen is supervised by Han Ting. Chang He then said that his investment would diversify the equity, keeping Xingchen under Ji Xing's control. But Han Ting's investment concentrates the equity, making Xingchen Han Ting's. Chang He is quite adept at exploiting people's weaknesses. The reason Ji Xing and Han Ting could sign the contract back then was simply because Han Ting agreed that all internal decisions at Xingchen would be made by Ji Xing. Grandfather invited Han Ting to come home for dinner together. Han Ting seized the opportunity to suggest bringing Ji Xing along to the family dinner, and grandfather agreed. On the way, Ji Xing was not in high spirits because Xingchen lost out on a project bid due to competition with Han He. In fact, Han Ting already knew about this beforehand. Both Han He and Xingchen were investments of Han Ting, but Ji Xing was unaware of this. Han Ting planned to find an appropriate time to personally tell Ji Xing. He comforted her, saying there would still be opportunities in the future. At the door, Han Ting held Ji Xing's hand and said he had already met Ji Xing's parents, and now he wanted to introduce her to his grandfather. Han Ting's sister Han Yuan and her mother were also at home, but they had no good impression of Ji Xing. At the dinner table, grandfather specifically asked Ji Xing how long it would take for Xingchen to surpass Han He. This was indeed a sharp question. Ji Xing remained calm and did not show any signs of difficulty. Surpassing Han He was not in her plans. Her idea was to focus on one field and excel in it. This answer took grandfather by surprise. He wrote Ji Xing and Han Ting's names in calligraphy. He smiled and said he would give it to Ji Xing later when there was an opportunity, implying that Ji Xing had not fully passed his assessment. Grandfather's concern was that both Ji Xing and Han Ting had strong personalities, and if conflicts arose, someone would have to compromise. Han Yuan had found clues about the close cooperation between Han He and Dong Yi, and she told this to Chang He. Chang He pretended to be very surprised, lamenting that Xingchen was just a smokescreen used by Han Ting to mislead Han Yuan. This statement left Han Yuan uneasy. The three of them decided to start with Xingchen. The next day at the medical equipment conference, Xingdi took the initiative to find Ji Xing. She revealed to Ji Xing that the reason Han He developed so quickly was because there was a significant figure behind it, Han Ting. Xingchen was just a pawn of Han Ting, which he could discard at any time. Xingdi successfully stirred up the relationship between Ji Xing and Han Ting. Ji Xing realized she knew nothing about Han Ting. Xingdi added fuel to the fire by saying that Han Ting couldn't possibly be interested in someone as simple as Ji Xing, only using her. Ji Xing was left stunned. That evening, Ji Xing expressed her worries to Han Ting. Han He was developing too fast for Xingchen to catch up. She asked Han Ting if he loved her, the kind of love where one would be willing to die for the other. Han Ting's understanding of love was more about spiritual and emotional connection, which was obviously not the answer Ji Xing wanted. That night, Ji Xing and Han Ting lay on opposite sides of the bed, each lost in their own thoughts. As an outsider looking in, it's frustrating to see. They could solve everything just by talking it out. But, of course, that's not how the story usually goes. In the morning, Han Ting discovered the merger proposal on the table. The previous night, Ji Xing had hesitated for a long time before opening the safe and finding the merger plan. It turned out that Han Ting had already planned to incorporate Xingchen into Han He. After much deliberation, Ji Xing still decided to accept Tongke's investment. In fact, Han Yuan's scheme was to have Tongke invest in Xingchen, thereby infiltrating the assets under Dong Yi. The board would then hold Han Ting accountable, and Han Yuan would use this as a reason to remove Han Ting from the board. But no matter how much one plans, they can't outsmart Han Ting. Han Ting found Chang He and exchanged all his Guanghua shares for Chang He shares in Xingchen. Han Ting was indeed capable of losing his mind for Ji Xing, but Ji Xing didn't understand. She blamed Han Ting for not telling her about Han He's plans. Han Ting pointed out that opportunities and choices are always more important than hard work, and that integrating the strengths of Xingchen and Han He was the best option. Ji Xing was in disbelief. From Han Ting's words, it seemed like everything was about manipulation, with so many schemes and calculations behind the scenes. Ji Xing was devastated. The two had a fierce argument. Now, in her eyes, Han Ting was a cold and profit-driven person. Ji Xing didn't accept the shares Han Ting offered her and left heartbroken. What a distressing night. In the end, Xingchen was still merged into Han He, and Dongyang Group was stronger than ever, with the stock market booming. But the relationship between Ji Xing and Han Ting had become strained. When Han Ting returned home, he found that Xing had taken all her belongings. Han Ting sat alone on the sofa for a long time. Xing's arrival had been like a burst of fireworks, and after the fireworks faded, everything returned to calm. Xing, who had originally planned to go home with Han Ting for the new year, returned alone. Her parents probably sensed something. Xing walked alone on the street, watching the brilliant fireworks. She remembered that last year she watched the fireworks with Han Ting, but today she was alone. After the new year, Han He and Xingchen held a merger meeting, but Xing did not attend. Although Xingchen was merged into Han He, it retained its independent research and development team and decision-making power. This was Xing's request, and Han Ting had fulfilled it. Han Ting tried calling Xing, but there was no answer. Xing chose to resign. She sent an email to every colleague at Xingchen, thanking each one for accompanying Xingchen from its inception to its growth. Han Ting wanted to learn Xing's whereabouts from Lily, but Lily didn't tell him. Xing only left Han Ting with the words, "We may never meet again." And just like that, Xing completely disappeared from Han Ting's world. Han Ting sat alone at home, reminiscing about the moments he shared with Xing, drowning his sorrows in alcohol every day. Even though he was allergic to alcohol, he kept drinking. Xing had once said that drinking could make one forget everything. He went alone to the rooftop, the same night view but without Xing by his side. Xing went to the place where her relationship with Han Ting had gradually deepened. Han Ting went to the seaside and felt a pang of envy as he watched couples being affectionate with each other. In Germany, Xing continued her studies in artificial intelligence. By chance, she met Qin Li, a Chinese international student who was very well known in the field of artificial intelligence. Not long after, Han Ting went to a company in Germany for an inspection. He couldn't resist walking down the streets he had once visited with Xing. Unexpectedly, he ran into Xing there. Neither of them had imagined they would meet again in this place. The feed in Xing's hand dropped to the ground, and her eyes filled with tears. Qin Li happened to come over, and from the way they looked at each other, he guessed that they knew each other. Xing quickly said that they were schoolmates. Han Ting then revealed that his purpose in coming to Germany was to recruit talent. Qin Li was willing to accept the offer from Dongyang and even joked that he really wanted to work with Xing. Han Ting thought Xing was still angry with him, but in fact, Xing had already come to terms with everything. She now understood Han Ting's choices. What Xing cared about was that Han Ting had deceived her. While Han Ting's life wasn't just about love, he could promise that his love was only for Xing. They returned to China together, and Han Ting hoped that Xing would rejoin their team. Xing agreed. Qin Li also joined Han Ting, and now he and Xing are colleagues. After the meeting, Qin Li invited Xing to dinner, and Han Ting, who was nearby, felt very uneasy when he saw it. When Han Ting saw Qin Li giving movie tickets to Xing, he silently left. Xing knew that Qin Li liked her, so she rejected him, not wanting anyone to interfere in her private life. While they were having dinner, Xing suddenly overheard a girl passing by thanking Han Ting for the flowers. Her expression immediately became complicated, and Qin Li noticed all of this. Xing and Han Ting both attended the Summit Forum, where Han Ting took the stage as a guest speaker. This time, he spoke on the topic of healthcare and humanity. He expressed that the greatest sense of achievement for a medical professional is seeing the products they develop cure diseases and save lives. Additionally, Han Ting mentioned love. He admitted that in the past, he only gave Xing what he thought she wanted, without considering what she actually desired. At the end of his speech, Han Ting asked Xing to give him another chance, bringing tears to her eyes. Later, Xing found herself once again at Han Ting's doorstep. She was surprised to find that the passcode was still the same, and everything inside was just as it was when she left. Xing noticed something. Han Ting had stuck to the fridge. He had fulfilled all her wishes except for one, going home together to visit her parents. Xing was moved to tears. Just then, the doorbell rang. When she opened the door, it was Zhu Houyu. It turned out that Zhu Houyu had been forced to declare bankruptcy after breaking the law and was now living a life on the run. He had found Chang He, who reminded him that it was Han Ting who had reported him. Naturally, Zhu Houyu wouldn't let Han Ting off the hook. Zhu Houyu called Han Ting, demanding money for Xing's ransom. Hearing Xing's voice on the other end of the phone, Han Ting clenched his fist. On his way, Han Ting called Tang Song and asked him to report the incident to the police. When Han Ting finally confronted Zhu Houyu, he handed over the money, but Zhu Houyu wasn't satisfied. They ended up in a physical struggle and fell off the building. Xing screamed in terror. Fortunately, the rescue team had already arrived, and Han Ting only fell onto an inflatable mattress. After a checkup, it was confirmed that Han Ting had no serious injuries. Lying on the hospital bed, Han Ting pleaded for Xing's forgiveness. Xing had already forgiven him. She broke down in tears, expressing her desire to learn more about Han Ting and start over with him. The two got back together, sharing a sweet kiss. After all the twists and turns over the years, Han Ting and Ji Xing were fortunate enough to end up together. After they got married, they had 2 sons. At this moment, Han Ting gazes at Ji Xing with a look that is always tender and delicate, filled with profound love. This is the true essence of enduring love. And with that, the story comes to an end.